Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tech Talk here at MarketStream.live. I'm Joe Cusick from the Cusick Group of securities provided by MoneyBlock. With your technical breakdown, this is my approach on how I look not only at charts, but also use the implied volatility technical analysis to give you better transparency into what the market's doing and what the expectations are. It's a mix. We look at charts, we look at past price history, we look at options. That gives us a forecast into the potential future moves of the underlying or the stock. And what I want to focus on is a handful of names this afternoon that are reporting earnings after hours. The first one that I want to focus on is Facebook. Facebook right now is trading at around 126.70. It has come off its best levels. Actually, it's under some pressure. And specifically when you look at Facebook technically going into the earnings cycle and on the charts, basically it's sliced through its 50-day moving average at 128.80. That means that what was once midterm support is now resistance. We're taking a look at the 200-day simple moving average. That's around 117.80. So we're looking at stock trading in between your midterm and long-term moving averages. That's mixed action. So that's basically looking at Facebook. It's under pressure, down about $3 right now into earnings. If we took a look at the options, first of all, the implied volatility, which is the forecast of expected move in the underlying based on the options pricing. Right now, the implied volatility is ranking out around 67%. For those of you that aren't options traders or never heard of implied volatility rank, that's simply looking at implied volatility over the last 52 weeks and saying, okay, where is it based on its lows and its highs? And right now, it's at the higher level, 67%. That's telling you that the options marketplace is expecting the potential for a very violent move in Facebook. With the stock down today, breaking its 50-day moving average, the options marketplace is pricing in a potential move of either up or down into the event of around $6. Now, if you were watching the closing bell last night, as well as what we were discussing yesterday in Tech Talk, it was actually pricing in a 770 move. It's actually reduced the implied volatility, or in other words, there's a little bit of a crush going into the number, but still, there's quite a bit of vol built in there. We're going to keep an eye on this after hours. This stock could be trading anywhere between 120 and 132, plus or minus. That's what the options are pricing in. Another stock that's reporting is in the oil services area. And oil has been, obviously, as we've been talking about, under pressure, especially after the latest EIA report where there was a 14 million barrel draw. That's probably the largest one in 30 years. MRO, Marathon Oil, they're trading right around $12.95. Now, MRO, the 200-day simple moving average is right around, let me check, it's, I believe, 1180. 1294. So it's broken its 200-day moving average. Now, since it's broken that long-term support, and I apologize, I'm looking at prices right now. I look at the May lows, which is 1180 on Marathon. That's where support now is coming in. Now that it's broken these 1280 levels, you're now going to see that those that bought in May might get a little bit leery, especially with oil trading in that $46 range. Taking a look at the options, the implied volatility rank going into this earnings announcement is right around 32%. So on a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being the highest and 0 being the lowest as far as what they believe is a potential volatile move in the underlying, it's on the mid to lower third. So there's not a huge expectation of violent move, and it's pricing in the potential to move about 32 cents into the event, trading at $12.95 right now and breaking that 200-day moving average. We want to keep an eye on that. The next one we want to take a look at is a small gold stock, Kinross. Now, the reason why I want to bring up Kinross Gold is not because it's a $3.95 stock. It's very liquid. It's basically trading like a relatively expensive option. KGC is the symbol. It went through its 50-day as well as its 200-day moving average. The 50-day is at 402 and the 200-day is at 416. Trading at 395, the implied volatility rank on the options is 30.6%. Basically, that's telling me that it's on the lower third of its volatility rank. So not a heightened, huge potential move in this, but the options are pricing in the potential to move about 11 cents into the earnings. If we're going to see some upside in this gold stock, and gold has come under pressure after the Fed came out, basically did nothing as far as rates, but is signaling still that there are going to be moving rates in December. The Fed probability tool is telling us it's still at 70%. KGC is pricing in the potential move either up or down 11 cents going into the earnings announcement. We'll watch that after hours. CenturyLink's been in the headlines in M&A, but CenturyLink right now is pricing in the potential to move about 58 cents. This is a $24.31. IVR is right around 60%. Expect some potential violent moves for CenturyLink going into the earnings, even though there's only an estimated move of around plus or minus up or down 58 cents. There is some potential there. RIG, that's Transocean, trading right around 938 right now. 50-day moving average was at 986, the 200-day moving average at 1024. So that they are below those moving averages. That means that anyone either 50 days ago or 200 days ago that got into RIG above the 986 level could be looking to unwind the position. They're having a losing opportunity, so they may be unwinding. We want to see if that actually starts to pick up. Vol right now is not telling me that it's going to be particularly volatile. The IV rank is at 23%. Estimated move is around 37 cents going into the earnings. So again, volatility is not telling me that there's a heightened expectation of huge violent moves like we saw with the IV rank at Facebook of being at 67%. Qualcomm is also announcing. Qualcomm's trading around 67.19. The 50-day moving average is 64.97 and the 200-day moving average is 59.12. So you can see that Qualcomm is well above their midterm and long-term support levels and trend lines. But the IVR, the implied volatility rank, is the highest out of all the names that are reporting that I'm talking about this afternoon in Tech Talk. It's at 70%. That's telling me that the options market is forecasting the potential for some pretty decent volatile moves. Now, does it have to happen? No. But it's pricing the potential in. It's actually pricing in the ability for the stock to potentially move either plus or minus, up or down, about $2.83 going into this binary event. This is a $67 stock, so you're basically talking about roughly almost a 5% move going into this event. We're going to keep an eye on that. $64.97 is that 50-day moving average. Fitbit is finally the last name that I'm going to talk about. Ticker symbol FIT, trading at 1276. Now, the 50-day moving average is at 1476, and the 200-day moving average is at 1456. Fitbit's blown through that. The implied volatility rank right now is at 61%, basically telling me that it's in the upper 2/3 of its volatility rank. There is a heightened expectation of potential move, violent move in Fitbit. It could be plus or minus. And when I say violent, folks, I don't mean just down. I mean up or down. That's why I give you a plus minus. It's pricing in the potential for it to move plus or minus $1.59, which is basically over an 11% move being priced into Fitbit going into its earnings after hours. All right, folks, that's Tech Talk for right now, where I gave you not only the technical analysis with charts, so looking in the past, but also taking a look at the options and seeing what they're pricing in as far as potential expected moves with the implied moves in the stock. So you now got a full package. We'll take a look after hours to see what happens. Till then, join me at 4:30. Otherwise, have a great rest of the trading day, and we'll talk to you soon.